Hey you. Star Citizen Monthly Report, let's go. Go ahead and grab a drink, clean up your room, or do something to get comfortable because September saw a lot of work put into development. AI team continued to work on enemy NPC traits, including a sentry trait which keeps enemies behind cover till it's been compromised, the reckless trait which bum rushes you berserker style, and the aggressive and cautious traits which are more in the middle in varying degrees. Search animations will have NPCs searching through the environment around vents, railings, crates, and more to keep you sweating when you accidentally fart through your suit in a stealth assault. Stealth play will receive a super cool boost with the work they've done with perception. Perception will help or hinder enemies from detecting you as a friend or foe. This means disguise as boss. Wearing specific clothing, for example, local faction outfits, can prevent enemies from IDing you. But knocking out somebody's fronts while wearing Xenothreat corduroys ain't gonna cut it, man. The actions you observe making, as well as the configuration of the NPCs in the area, will influence their perception meter and their ability to detect you through your funny nose and glasses disguise. If you're looking suspect, they will challenge you. On the animation side, AI features progressed with human-female combat animations. Not a lot of detail in that sentence, but we'll go ahead and take it. AI tech team extended the functionality of navigation links, aka traversing from one mesh to another, like from terrain to a ship. In this case, they wrapped up work on ladder extenders, allowing NPCs to use ladders like we do, as well as using the entire width of doors and gaps, enabling collision avoidance. They extended AI use of doors, allowing them to use closed doors so they can finally get the hell out of the way at Tammany and Sons. NPC foot sliding, which I've never noticed, was worked on. AI pilot perception was extended to allow them to target on-foot enemies and to let on-foot AI track ships and vehicles for ground-to-flight combat. Gonna be hilarious to hear folks screaming after an on-foot AI slaps them in the cockpit with a rocket launcher. Audio perception was adjusted from NPCs only hearing a sound based on proximity to hearing sounds based on volume of the source and its relative strength through the distance to the listening NPC. Different audio stimuli will have varying max values they can push the perception meter to. Work was made to AI targeting non-vehicles such as turrets, components, and stations. Combined with strafing runs, this allows them to perform attack runs on stations. Facial animation team worked on lines for rescue transport gameplay, motion capture, and animations for Q4 events. Character and tech art teams prepped new armors, worked on a subscriber program, and Stanton's quote-unquote Earth fashion outfits. Also further development on concept art for frontier outfits, undersuits and helmets, medical armor, and creatures. Drake Corsair went through final art, putting the finishing touches on wear, tear, and tint. The exterior dock and collar got new geometry and went through final art with animations and lighting. Quote from the vehicle team: "We are experimenting with a new setup system to trigger lights on the exterior of the ship for specific states such as landing and when using the lift to allow for a more dynamic lighting experience. I gotta say I like the idea, but I'd also like to be able to disable that when I'm trying to creep on somebody." Additional support was given to get the Drake Vulture ready for release,
and there was much rejoicing.
Ship art continued the Argo SRV through Greybox with only the habitation left. Final art pass on an unannounced ship was completed and prepped for review this month. Quote from the ship team: "We're very pleased with how this ship turned out. It was a great opportunity for us to push the workflow and visuals forward. For example, exterior lighting states, better looking glass and glows on exterior lights, new damage trims, and new artwork for countermeasures." Alright, well that is exciting. Sounds schmexy. Unannounced ground vehicle passed final review with small alterations to the dash to improve visibility of the speedometer. No disrespect to the Atlas platform, but I hope it's not the Atlas platform again. No, I'm sure it's not. As my little buddy Clash would say, I'm just a cheeky boy. Speedometer, eh? Well, have an idea what this whip is for. Whole C polish pass wrapped up and all major bugs are completed. They completed the bugs for your pleasure. Resource management pass on the Hammerhead continued,
and there was much rejoicing.
A gravity room was added. That I didn't expect. Where that's gonna be at? Component bay implementation also started. Work was also completed on an upcoming variant. For which ship? Medical terrapin? Combat PTV perhaps? Stealth reclaimer? We shall see, my friend. Engine team is where it gets a little techie specky, so in the most abbreviated terms. Progress was made toward the Gen 12 transition with several processes ported over. Gen 12 port of volumetric cloud rendering was completed. That should give us even better looking clouds without all the noise crawling around in them. The remaining time was spent supporting 3.18 and the PU. FPS devices got features like timer and proxy triggers. Prototyping for restraining NPCs and characters with wrist and ankle restraints began. Quote from the features team. Of course, another player or NPC may come along and remove the restraint, but it is a small risk for those who want to avoid using lethal action. Gameplay features team continues support for Tier 0 salvage. Quality of life balance pass plans were made for mining and loot generation after 3.18. The team will be looking to add benefits to using a mole over several prospectors. I didn't know folks were group mining in different ships like that. So I guess for them it'd be nice to see a distinct advantage for multi-crew play while mining. Resource Network received work unifying how temperatures are controlled throughout ships, including coolers. EU team joined the US team on cargo refactor. Prep began for the Go No Go for the Security Post-Korea rework, infiltrate missions on Horizon platforms, and the prison update. A change to prevent combat logging was tested. It's so funny that folks get so upset by that. Who cares? Crime Stat 1 and 2 severity drop was tested. Improvements to distinguish trespass zones and hostile control zones were made. Improvements to time trials made as well. Progress on a previously mentioned investigation mission was made. Supposed to be one of the most complex missions the team has worked on. Quote from the mission features team. We feel we're ready to let narrative go wild with creating mysteries aboard a variety of ships and surrounding environments. Work began on the contract manager redesign. Plans were made for workups on new and long anticipated mission types.
And there was much rejoicing.
Vehicle feature teams supported the release of persistent entity streaming. Improvements were worked on for the system connecting objects to power and other resources. Aiming and gunnery system were reworked to make weapons more accurate and reliable in vehicles. Implementation of ship MFDs into Squadron 42 was made. Another techie specky section that you should go ahead and probably read online. The quick version, work on augmented reality graphics, wireframes, on UI meshes, high-res screenshot output. Yes. Salvage, damage maps, Rostar V1, the tool to build modules and planetary environments with outposts, derelicts, and cities. Improvements to river tech, which we saw in the final Inside Star Citizen episode of the quarter, and the Gen 12 rendering of planets for 3.18. Lighting team worked on Ruin Station and Pyro, as well as Security Post Korea. Locations team, of course, focused on Pyro. They also put in work on Security Post Korea, an upcoming event space, older landing zones, and new animations. Narrative team cranked out work on IAE 2952, missions for 3.18, and text for the new contract manager and kiosks. Quote from the narrative team. It's important that screens not only clearly convey their function, but provide verisimilitude for how they're supposed to be used in lore, which can be tricky to balance. They also published new content to the website, including Star Watch and Booty Call. So yeah, go on, check that on out. Interactables team worked on Ruin Station and marketing materials that we'll have soon. QA tested up persistent entity streaming and all 3.18 deliverables. Tech animation team scanned up 20 female heads in the ongoing pursuit to add to the gene pool, and this was just the start. If you were worried about time taking its toll on the graphics, they're not. Quote from the tech animation team. We have some exciting developments with some of our elements in game that will take them to the next level of visual fidelity. They also assisted with creating and implementing new enemy types. The online services team prepped for 3.18 release to Evocati, persistent entity streaming, and fixing the bug preventing refueling and reloading. The live tools team finished up a module for seeing infractions committed by players as well as Grim Hex improvements. The UI team continued to work on the star map, creating interactive holo volumes using the UI system. This will make it possible to have large real-time holospheres on capital ships in the future. The VFX team continued prototyping a quantum travel VFX rework with refractive elements emphasizing the formation of a hole-hugging bubble when the drive spools up. Finally, a warp bubble, ladies and germs. VFX for salvage were continued to help players visually understand what's happening during hull stripping. They completed a pass on a new vehicle and worked on 2 other vehicle effects. And finally, they fixed up some bugs and made some tweaks to the new derelict locations and other miscellaneous locations. I think that means we won't be breaking our legs there anymore. And that, my friends, is your September monthly report. I will see y'all during CitizenCon. In the meantime, like up, sub up, and ring up like a boss. My name is Dig That, and I might have to start uploading this news to an AI voice. Fly dirty, citizens. Sublime boss love to the executive producer that is joint. Thanks for keeping that lights on and the bandwidth cracking over here. Hold on, Mysterious Mike Alvera, Saucy One, Mr. MIA. Commander Blackout, also Mr. MIA. JP Stravinsky, Eyes Open 2018. Momo, John Arcadian, Smoke Mito, Still Legacy, Hardflyer Extraordinaire. The Huntress, Burning Chrome, let's swap them names, man. And Caractacus Potts from ED to SC. Big thanks, executive bosses. You are very much appreciated. Big suplex and shout out to all the Dig That fam supporting the Dig That and Space Sim Arts. Salute to the mother of Buster Boy, Commander Dr. Digital, Zayla Maru, Commander Leviathan Soul, Timeout 420 Twin, Train Man Rob, Deadeye 8IO, Figment, Evil Weasel, Titan Prime, Crash Test, Commander Cool Whip, Triple Awesome, Crash Down, Military SS Boss, Anathema Minute, G-Ro the CEO, June Star, Carl Pajin, the Mad Doctor, Waffle Iron of Dune, Abner Dune, Individual 11, Fair Gamer, Yo Diggity, Yo Doubt, One Hitter Quitter, Cyrus 8, Sadavoce, and Jay Smith. Big love, Dig That fam. My name is Dig That, and I think fall is alright, but I'll take some more summer though. Fly dirty, citizens.